disgusting habit of smoking. It's all been said before, but this year no more chugging. It's time to throw away the lighter, throw away the ashtray, throw away the half-filled packs, and it is time to find a way to make it through the day, a safe way to relax.
Safe way to relax. Quitting smoking and vaping and all those harmful stuff that get into your lungs. Welcome to Smoking Cessation. I'm Kevin. I'm your tobacco educational coordinator. And I will be with you for a few minutes discussing some of the options in front of us to get rid of that awful habit of smoking. I remember when I first quit smoking, it was when I quit drinking, and it all went together, so I'm a lucky one. Then I'd go by the meetings, and they would be standing outside smoking and trying to quit killing themselves from alcohol, and I'm going, then why do you want to smoke? And the question was answered simply, I just can't stop smoking. So we're going to look at smoking in a different manner in the upcoming episodes. We're going to look at more of a program of recovery. But we're also going to discuss the different websites, such as, I'll put in the lower level, Quit Assist. And the name of our show today is Put It Out, and it's the smoking support group. Once again, my name's Kevin. I'll be with you for the short period of time that we have today. If you're interested in any of these at the bottom of the screens, you'll be able to just go to that website, and there's some great information on how to quit smoking. The U.S. government also has a great site also. I'm going to throw that up in a minute. But we want to thank you for being here today, and welcome. The way to make it through the day, a great way to live. Now we know the facts, and when we know the facts, we know it's time to let it go. A lot of us I really truly believe it. I just didn't know the facts behind certain things. I had an addiction. I had something that wanted to control me at times, and it knew. It knew when I needed to have the cigarette. It knew when I needed to have the dry goods. It knew when I needed to have the alcohol, the beer, the booze. So an addiction controls me, and so by letting it go, I had to do things that helped let it go, and the best things that I was able to do was start to learn more about it. And here's another great site coming up to prevent at mass.gov program, Smoking Cessation and Prevention program, and it's a great thing that we look at these little places that we can go to, just to take time, if you got a few minutes a day, to read what's going on, and maybe get into a live chat. If it's just your first day of starting out and you're looking for ways to begin your journey, there's so many different places to go. So we're going to go to Quit Assist again. That's our go-to. And we're going to start by, because we haven't been here in a couple of weeks because of some special events going on, but we're going to catch back up a little bit here. And we're going to talk about, live chat lines that are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with a National Cancer Institute counselor. And you can do that. You can get quitting information You can get tips, ongoing support, and expert advice on staying tobacco-free in the future. So if you go to quitassist.com, starting out, and then you can go to a chat, and you can look at the live chat line will come up, and it'll give you information on get live online assistance, informational service. It can answer your questions about cancer trials, clinical trials, quitting smoking. Live help is confidential. Our information specialists do not provide medical advice. They are service and is not a substitute for talking with your health care professionals. That's a good cup of coffee today. Today's brought to you by Pete's Coffee. Pete's is a great coffee, nice and smooth. So chat support is available. It shows you right there. You can chat on clinical trials, cancer information, quitting smoking. And it tells you that live help is available Monday through Friday, 9 to 9. That's amazing, isn't it? 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. It also is in Spanish, and it has accessibility information for those who may need to talk through different accessibility information, such as for the deaf or hard of hearing. So take a look at stuff like that. It's an amazing thing to do. Very helpful resource. And then right on that same page, you can go and visit smokefree.gov. And that's where we're talking about a little bit down here, smokefree.gov. And it's a great thing to look at. Let's just go over a little bit of smokefree.gov. And if you have your cell phone and you want to join me on that website, hopefully next week we can bring it up onto the page. We've been working on that. So the first menu, there's all menu items and tools and tips and quit smoking and challenges when quitting and vaping and getting help. So for today, let's just say I want to quit. And it's going to bring you up to a page called Get Prepared. And preparation is the first step of being smoke-free. Boost your chances of success by making a quit plan. So for today, we're going to concentrate on seeing what that quit plan is all about. And so what it does is it brings up to me some quitting all tobacco products is the best thing you can do for your health. Whether you smoke cigarettes, vaping, or do both, creating a professional quit plan makes it easier to stay on track and get through the hard times and quit for good. And then it really gets in depth and asking you what type of tobacco are you quitting? Are you quitting cigarettes or vaping? Or are you a teenager and want to begin your process of quitting as a teen? It's an amazing thing. So let's just look at the 5 steps in just, beginning the process. So it's step 1 of 5. Choose a date. We all have dates. We all want to. It's New Year's. I'm never going to drink again. And I didn't lie. I waited till 12:05. New Year's resolutions. I'm never going to drink again. I'm not going to. Never. And then, 2 hours later and 15 minutes later, I'm going and indulging in products that are going to send me to La La Land. And so choosing a quit date is a very important process for anyone. I did not choose a quit date. quit date chose me, and just one day I stopped. I didn't want to do it anymore. My wife chose a quit date. She knew how important it was um, to remove cigarettes from her life and her health. And step two was the financial. What is it costing you? So if you look at today, I don't know, a pack of cigarettes will say $10, and you smoke one a day, one pack a day, every day. That's $70 a week. That's $210 a month. If you and then just double it if you smoke more than one pack a day. I knew when I was smoking, it could have been 3 to 4 to sometimes 5, depending how long I was out. And when I started, so today's market, I would be unable to obtain the financial costs at the prices today. So if it's $210 a week, 7 days a week, I'd be somewhere in $600 a week. I didn't even make that in a paycheck. So you just imagine the costs and what tobacco does for people, finances. And once again, hi to everyone who's tuning in. And we're going over the 5 tips of getting started. We started with the choose date. We're looking at the financial costs. And now, why are we quitting? Great question. Why are we quitting? Did a health scare come into play? Did our families ask us to? Grandpa, you smell. What's that smell? You know, there are many reasons, from personal to health, to just you've had enough. So figure out and write down the reasons why you want to quit. And the other things are, now know your triggers. Know what's going to send you back, and how you can look at your triggers when you're talking about relieving yourself of tobacco and vaping. A lot of times, this is a powerful, powerful addiction. If you've ever been to a hospital setting, and I say this a lot, I'd see the nurses on the other side of the street from the hospital, about, a 5 or 6 minute walk, just so they could go and then scoot back in the snow to be able to get back to their shift on time. That's how addicting, because and powerful this is. And then we look at our 5th step of what we're looking at today in the 5 steps of starting out, making a quit plan. And it's set yourself up for success. Be powerful. And if we look at it, like we said, we're going to look at it more of a program. So we're going to implement the molding of, say, Tobacco Anonymous with the smokefree.gov. And if you look at that, then Tobacco's Anonymous may have a 12-step program looking at your powerlessness over tobacco and how your life's become unmanageable because of it. And then taking on a higher power and looking at the people, maybe we've harmed through our smoking, though financial, or through our mood swings. And then we look at through the 12 steps, as if you were in AA or NA, looking at how to incorporate those plans together. And doing that, you're able to see in different ways how they all work in one lump sum, if that makes sense to anyone. It did to me when I quit. I had to just incorporate the workings of Alcoholics Anonymous, which I did when I came in, to the workings of a tobacco quitting program. So I molded them all together. the drugs, the alcohol, the cigarettes. You know, I tried to incorporate them all and ask the power greater myself on a daily basis to remove the cessation of wanting to smoke and do all that. And I was lucky, I said, they all left together. So as you come into working more into the 5 plans of your wellness plan now for quitting smoking, there are some tools and tips that you can use at smokefree.gov. And when it comes to quitting smoking, there are ways to make it easier. How to handle the temporary feeling of withdrawals and cravings. Learn about different quitting tools and how you use them. The apps, the texting programs that provide 24/7 help. Plan ahead and get tips to create your personalized quit plan and increase your chances of becoming smoke free. So here we are. We're at the turning point. We're at the crossroads. Where am I going? Am I going to go get another $10 pack of cigarettes, or am I going to create my quit plan? And when I create the quit plan, as we just went over, we want that date in mind. We want to understand the finances. We want to know reasons why we're accepting this quitting of tobacco, and why are we quitting? Write it down. Journal that. And know the triggers and set yourself up for success. And that's how easy it is to get going. And when we get going, we'll know how to quit then. Because we're going to ask the questions that are necessary. So, I don't know if there's one right way or one wrong way or what way, highway, this way, that way, but certainly things can be extra helpful. For example, medication can double your chances of quitting for good. And if you want to learn more about your options on that, including nicotine replacement therapy, which is NRT, and prescription medications that can help boost your chances, see your primary care physician before you start any of that. Explore the methods that are out there. And talk to a physician, talk to 1-800, the quit hotlines that are out there. No single quit smoking method is right for everyone. It's really not. So learn to decide which ones are right for you. And so some of the methods are self-help guides and other materials that you can find on the website smokefree.gov. Online programs, in-person counseling, telephone counseling, counseling and medication, nicotine patches. Don't let this get overwhelming. It's not as overwhelming as it may sound. It's giving you options. Nicotine gum, lozenges, inhalers, nasal spray, and all other Chantix and Wellbutrin and bupropion, and a physician can combine these in certain ways, combine them into something that may help you. I know my wife took a Wellbutrin or Zyban. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but the most effective ways that we find that are working is counseling plus medication. And then you got to look at, the affordability of everything through telephone counseling and internet quitting program and live chats and all of it. But the main thing is that why we see a doctor is because we need to know the side effects. Just like quitting alcohol or drug, we need to know the side effects. That's why they put us into alcohol and drug addicted, go into detoxification programs because of the side effects that may happen. And so I'll put the website up once again, right there, put it out, MassGov, info details, step to quitting, tobacco, nicotine. It's a great website. It is a great thing to research if you are really looking for those methods on how to quit. And then, there are challenges when you start quitting smoking. There are many challenges, just like we looked at in many different avenues of quitting many different things. When you withdraw and crave, when you quit something and then it comes back like, oh, I'm not going to eat ice cream anymore. And then all of a sudden, and you got a gallon in your hand with a shovel. Um, Many smokers struggle with the same withdrawals and cravings when they quit. But there are ways to deal with these temporary challenges and learn more about the cravings and slips and tips and for coping with them. And even challenges like stress and weight gain can be managed if you are prepared for them. So let's take a look at that really quickly, and then you can go back and forth at your time to be able to look at all that's available for you. Hey, Dennis, buddy, what's going on? I just saw you there. Good to see you, man. Dennis is a non-smoker. He doesn't use alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, vaping, none of that. He's doing quite well for a very long time. And so let's look at nicotine withdrawal. Nicotine withdrawal is challenging for most smokers. Good news is that the worst withdrawal symptoms usually last less than 2 weeks. But the time can get really tough. If you're a non-drinker and you've passed that avenue, you know how hard it was for that. And so know what to expect when going through nicotine withdrawals and get the ideas for easing your symptoms. There are many different ways of doing that. You can manage nicotine withdrawals when you learn what one is. So nicotine is the main addictive substance in cigarettes and other tobacco products. And as you use tobacco over time, your body gets used to having this nicotine. And when you quit, your body needs to get used to not having nicotine anymore, which can be uncomfortable, but is not harmful. Nicotine is a drug that affects many parts of the body, including the lump 3 feet above you know what, your brain. So quitting smoking can cause a bit of uncomfortable symptoms. Craving a cigarette can feel restless, jumpy, having trouble sleeping. Also, it's common with withdrawals, your mood can change. Some people say that after they quit smoking, they felt irritable, anxious, and depressed. The Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous told me that I'm irritable, and when I quit drinking, I'm going to feel those symptoms of the similar actions of being depressed and anxious and irritable and discontent and all those things. So when we quit something that's so that has us, also other chemicals that are dangerous. Yes, Dennis, I dig that, man. There are so many different chemicals. Sorry, that little thing's been flying around me all day. And so those chemicals, we're going to talk about that maybe next week in vaping. All those chemicals that are in there every time you take a puff. So managing the symptoms and the withdrawals are important. So we make a plan, we distract ourselves, we look at practice mindfulness. We practice, focusing on goals. We know our triggers. We get the text message supports. We try to quit medication. We try to quit smoking medication. So if nicotine is being difficult, the replacement therapy is there for you. Try a quit smoking medication. See your doctor ahead of time. Smokefree.gov app. Put that in your phone, man, and start learning a few of the little things that are being told through that app. And I'm going to bring that app in front of me right now, and it's going to see fear. Looking up feeling irritable or grouchy. I don't need a cigarette for that. But change. It says change is often hard and can make people feel out of sorts. Yeah, and I don't need a cigarette for that. So remember, you are doing a very good thing for yourself by quitting smoking. Stick with your commitment to quit now, and it will help your withdrawal symptoms get easier more quickly. And just a few of the little things that it talks about: having trouble sleeping, having trouble thinking clearly or concentrating, feeling restless or jumping, feel sad, anxious, or depressed. Yeah, it's like running the 500-meter hurdles in the Olympics. Every time you get over another hurdle, there's another one in front of you. But the more you do it, the more you get stronger. The more you're going to be able to look at these things and say, that's not as bad as I thought it would be. God says that you can't destroy the temple, which is your body. I dig that, Dennis. Thank you. And also, as we're looking at ways of looking at how to manage our symptoms and withdrawals, Dennis brings in a great biblical aspect of it. The higher power, the God, the praying. And so whether you want to pray about it and you want to use that as I would use that, because I would bring in the 12 steps of Celebrate Recovery, the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, 12 steps of Nicotine Anonymous. They all have one thing in common: when they start, they can't stop, whatever. And so by praying and sitting quietly and listening to, like Dennis says, God says that you can't destroy the temple. We may understand that, for a very long time we were putting things in our body that shouldn't have been there. And some people can do things in moderation, but I could not, and I still cannot. So we're going to, we're at 28 minutes into the hour. We're coming up to the ending of our session. We want to thank you all for being here. Next week, we're going to go back to quitfree.gov, and hopefully we'll find some further information, and we'll be able to bring some of this paperwork up on the screen and share it with you. And we'll be looking at more ways that we can look at the tools and tips. We can get extra help, extra programs. We're going to do the Quit Start, which is on your phone. We're going to learn about putting that on there. And we got a lot more things to do. So stick around. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Dennis, for chiming in with your great stuff as always. We'll see you soon. And may God bless you all.